Every time somebody complains that they were surprised by something or sideswiped by something, I ask them truly, do you think you'd be a happy person if absolutely everything in your life went perfectly all of the time? You never had any problems ever, and you got what you want without effort, without work, without trying, without concern, without worry, without anxiety. You just got to live in this utopia. But do you think you'd be a happy, contented person? Because anyone who's come anywhere close to that end up a mess and end up on drugs, so clearly it doesn't make them happy. Do you think you'd actually be happy without your problems? The truth to life is you're happy when you solve problems. Solving problems makes you happy. And if you need to solve problems to be happy, you need problems in the first place. So perhaps be a little bit more thankful for the problems you do have. Especially if there's something asinine and mundane. Especially if you haven't lost your arm. You now get the dopamine and the satisfaction of solving a problem. And until that problem is solved, are you really suffering? Truthfully, are you in a ditch? No, problems are fantastic. Problems are the seeds that happiness grows from. I have a far more difficult life than most people who are less happy than I am. And people say, oh, well, you're happy because you're rich. No, I'm rich because I'm happy. Because if I wasn't capable of dealing with all of this stress and all of these governments trying to put me in jail and assassins turning up to my door, children all around the world, and huge bills, and being well known to the fact I get death threats, all this garbage. If I couldn't deal with all this, I wouldn't be able to make money. So I'm not happy because I'm rich. I'm rich because I can stay happy irregardless of the things that happen to me. And I can do that because I can control my own mind. I promise you, I decide when I'm happy, and I smile, and the chemicals are released in my brain. I still have control over my innate technology given to me by God, and I'm happy. If God put a diamond in your path, you'd want it. Would somebody have to motivate you to go and take that diamond, or would you understand, I want that diamond? Now, the reason you want it is because it's right in your path and it's easy to acquire. But nobody has to motivate you to get it because you see the value. If the diamond's on top of a mountain, now a lot of people are going to quit. But you still want the diamond. You should be excited by the idea that you get to climb a mountain because it stops anyone else trying to get that diamond. You shouldn't need motivation to do hard things. It should be very much the opposite. Hard is fantastic. You need to be waking up and training your mind to approach difficult things with excitement. You know, the first time you do anything, you're going to suck at it. That's how life works. The first time you try something, you're going to suck. And that's where most people quit. But if you continue to try it over and over again, you will get better. That's the guarantee. That's the magic. Imagine a world where every time you picked up a new skill, the universe, karma, God, whatever you want to call it, flipped the coin and it was 50-50 as to whether you would get better at that skill. And no matter how often you tried, no matter how much vigor you applied, you stayed terrible at said task. And you'd have to waste your time, waste years of your life trying to do something before you finally realize that the cosmic coin in the sky has betrayed you, and you stand no chance of improvement. The world doesn't work that way. There is no cosmic coin in the sky. Every time you try something repeatedly, you get better at it. Guaranteed. That is a guarantee. You could take it to the bank. So when you know that, how can you struggle to find the motivation or the discipline to try at something? Because you know for a fact you're going to get better. If you train, you're going to get stronger. If you hopscotch, you're going to get better at mothering hopscotching. Guaranteed. If you want to learn how to make money, you dedicate yourself. You keep doing what you're supposed to do, and you'll get better at making money. Repeat, repeat, repeat. Get paid. Get paid. Get paid. It is a guarantee that if you continue to try something, you'll improve. So imagine how short-sighted you must be. Imagine how empty your padaki. Imagine how weak your consciousness to understand that guaranteed results come from applied effort and still not finding the gumption to apply yourself. I am promising you a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. The universe has promised you endless riches and significance. The universe itself is promising you everything you have ever desired. If you continue to try knowing that if you still can't force yourself to try over and over again, then you deserve to lose. You're not much more than a probability machine. As humans, that's all we are. We make predictions based on previous experience so that we can predict the future. The probability of me dying, if I go and stroke that lion, it's pretty high. I've seen it happen to other people. Therefore, I'm not going to go stroke lions. It keeps me alive. The probability that if I drop this phone, it's going to hit the floor is pretty high because I believe in gravity, because every time I've ever dropped anything, things have fallen to the floor. I mean, maybe this time it won't, but I believe it will. So I'm going to hold it firmly to make sure that my phone doesn't break. If you actually go through life and understand why you make the decisions you make, why you think what you think, it's simply just probabilities based on previous experiences. That is why it is so important that you never quit, that you never give up, that you put 100% effort into everything and you see it through to the end. Because if you get a brand new challenge or a brand new opportunity to be massively successful, and you've spent the last 10 years quitting on things because they got hard, then you know deep in your heart there's a large probability that you're not going to succeed. That you're probably going to quit when it gets hard. And for that reason, you're not going to be able to push to the end. You're not going to be able to try 100%. You're not going to be able to commit. However, if you're the kind of person who endlessly tries at every single thing they do, you're stubborn. You don't quit. If you decide you're going to do it, you do it. And if it doesn't work out, at least you know you gave it everything you've got. Then next time you're given an opportunity, you know there's a large probability that you'll be successful because you know you're not the kind of person who's going to give up when it gets hard. You know that everyone else is going to give up when it gets hard. It's going to thin the herd and leave only the real G's left. And the real G's are the ones who collect the money. You must program yourself to the point where you understand there is a 100% probability that you are going to give your all. There's a 100% probability that you're going to try harder than everybody else. Because once you do that, opportunities look different. They no longer look risky. They no longer look difficult. They no longer look hard to do. It's simply a matter of sitting there going, well, that's an opportunity. I can make a whole bunch of money with that. A lot of people are going to quit. That looks like it's going to be tedious. It's going to take a lot of time and energy. Most people are going to quit. But I don't quit. I'm a probability machine. And I know based on my past and the life I've lived that I don't quit. So I'm going to win. Look at any decision you make. You stop at a red light. Why? Well, if you go through a red light, the car will crash. You know that most people are probably stopping at red lights and going at green lights. The statistics tell you that green lights mean most people go. Red lights mean most people stop. Not everybody, there's some idiots. But by and large, life is nothing more than you going through it and using past experiences to try and predict the future and the likelihood of certain events to happen based on previous events that have happened to you. Once you start winning, it's so easy to keep winning because you've won and you know that you can do it and you've seen yourself struggle to pull it off and you believe that you can win again. There's a good chance you can win again because you've won before. It's only hard to win the first time. Once you've won, once you've given 100% of yourself to something and pulled it off, then you know it is very likely to happen again. And becoming a programmed probability machine that sees huge chances of success every time they dedicate themselves is the easiest way to end up richer than you could have ever imagined. Most people go through their entire adult life without trying 100% hardly ever. Even when you go to the gym, you don't try 100%. Do you really try 100% with work? Don't do it if you're not going to try. It's a bad habit to spend time and waste it. It's a bad habit to go, I tried. Yeah, at least I went, it's going, that matters if you're going to go do it. If you're going to do it right. There's no point in half doing anything. You may as well have not done it at all. I think as a young man, if you want to get your life better, the most important thing you have are your waking hours. You need to be out competing all the other people on the planet who are hyper-competitive. And if you think you have 8 hours to sit there and just read a book, you are wasting your time. You are too slow, and you are going to lose against people like me. A lot of people say, oh, you know, I have confidence issues. And I say, I was you, I would have confidence issues. If you're not proud of yourself, you probably don't deserve to be proud of yourself. So you're not going to feel happy. Confidence comes from competence. The reason I'm confident is because I'm good at everything. The things I'm not good at, I'm not confident in, of course. And I know what they are. I either high or I just don't want to do it. Yeah. I'm absolutely inly confident because I'm absolutely inly competent. And that takes practice and discipline and motivation. And you need to fail a few times. You need to get up. That's all it comes down to. And when people say, oh, you know, I have confidence issues, usually I can look them up and down and say, yeah, if I was you, I would completely and artfully struggle with confidence issues. If I'm unhappy with something and I'm uncomfortable with something, I fix it. I would be able to take all of that discomfort and turn it into endless energy to get the problem fixed. These people seem to sit and say, I'm really unhappy with X, but then stay doing X. So I don't believe they're truly actually unhappy. What you'll notice if you live life long enough is that somebody will sit and say to you, I'm unhappy being a loser. I just sit at home and play video games 7 days a week. And maybe 3 days of the week they're unhappy doing that, but 4 days of the week doesn't really bother them. Because if it bothered them 7 days a week, guess what? So I have very little sympathy for people. And that's not because I'm not a nice person, but it's because I've been so hard on myself. And I've been through so much pain and trauma myself. Some of it self-inflicted, some of it given to me by God to make me a better person. Why would I feel pity for somebody who took the easy route when I took the hardest possible route? Because as a man, you can be anything you decide you want to be. That's the beauty of being a male. You can build your character completely from the ground up, just like a video game. I was not born a world champion kickboxer. I was not born this intelligent or intellectual. I was not born this rich. I became these things myself. So I deserve all the spoils of war. And anybody who decides they don't want to work hard enough to become those things, then they deserve to sit and accept they're my inferior. I have had a very painful life. I still think to a degree I do. But I can't imagine living any other way. I can't imagine living in this idea, this utopian ha-ha-hen hedonism. It's degenerate. I think the only thing you can do that's not degenerate is usually be fighting a battle or solving a problem. Is my life difficult? Yeah. Am I complaining about that? No. In fact, I'd hate it for it to be any other way. Easy, it's not an option, but it's worth fighting. Is worth giving yourself a chance. Is worth mustering yourself up, standing up inside yourself. It's worth fighting relentlessly, never giving up. There are moments in your life that you feel overwhelmed by life, by your own circumstances, by struggles. Life has a way of humbling you. You're going to feel awkward and stupid and dumb sometimes. At times, you won't want to come out the house. But it's okay. It's a part of the deal. The real challenge of growth comes when you get knocked down. How you handle it, that's where the growth takes place. You want to take responsibility for your life. I got me here. I can get me out of this. If somebody came and knocked you down, ain't nothing you can do about it. But if I come back a week later and you're still on the ground, we got a problem. The way you were born, what happened to you is not your fault. But dog, you still on the ground after 20 years. If you get knocked down, there's nothing you can do about it. But getting back up has every single thing to do with you. You are not the only person that's been through a divorce. Boo. Get over it. You can permit it to let it hold you down, or you can decide, I'm not going to let that happen to me. You got to get gritty, man. You got to develop some dog in you. You have to learn to turn and look at every obstacle as an opportunity. Your pain ain't permanent. It might last for a second. It might last for a minute. It might last for months. But sooner or later, if you do not surrender, if you do not give up, it will subside. There's going to be some scars. The scar's going to come. We're going to take some hells. We're going to get hurt. We all go through them. You think you're the only one. Get up. Your mama needs you. Your daddy needs you. Your children need you. Get up. Life ain't going to be easy. Ain't nobody going to hand you nothing. Life's still going to happen. Why are you trying to blow up? Stop running from your pain and embrace your pain. What will you do with your pain? Will you let it break you, or will you let it redefine? You've got to decide to be relentless. You've got to decide never to give up. You've got to find some reasons within yourself that will give you the stamina when life catches you on the blind side to keep on calling and coming back again and again and again. When you get to the point where enough is enough, doors start opening, opportunities start happening. But what you cannot do is you cannot quit doing the process. You cannot give up because it ain't what you see. You cannot give up. When you have nothing left, that's when it's showtime. At the end of the day is your problem. When you find a way out of nowhere, when you find breath that you don't have. When you want this thing as bad as you want to breathe, that's when you find a way. Life's going to whip your blood. Life is going to bully you. Stop crying. Let it hit you. But don't let it punk you. And you don't get here by quitting when you're tired. You get here by quitting when you finish. Greatness is in you, but the problem is somebody's got to push you. The problem is somebody's got to give you a reward. You're still looking for someone to save you when you're already your superhero. It's just time for you to get up and be the best version of you. I don't care if you're sick. I don't care what you're going through. If you're not dead, he ain't through with you yet. As long as they're in your nostrils, you're still in the game. You still can win. I may be sick. I may be crazy. I may be confused, but I'm not dead yet. Some people live in the cemetery of their failures. And I want to say to somebody who's fallen, or everybody hates you, and everybody walked away from you, don't live where they left you. Whatever it takes for me to get out, I got to get out of here. I will not die on drugs. I will not die in depression. I will not die where you met me. Some of y'all in this room, are you paralyzed? You've done what nobody else in your family has done, and now you're chilling. Come on. You ain't hungry no more. What have you done? What have you accomplished that got you so full? Every single year, your appetite should go up. You should never get settled. You should never get content. Every single year, I want to execute. I want to make all my dreams become a reality so my appetite increases. It gets stronger every year.